Hey, how's it going? Just getting started. Got the cat. First things first, I gotta take care of some stream setup stuff. So give me a moment. Okay. Now I just gotta figure out where to do that. Thank you for telling me my mic volume is low. Okay. Okay, so it is this headset that's recording it. Okay. Then I will speak louder. I've got a friend that's watching who's sending me texts instead of using chat. So, fine with me. All right, so let's get back to the Grimoire of the Dead work. So, again, going back through explaining what I'm working on, like I do at the beginning of most of these videos. So, I started out designing a deck box, and for this, I just did a sizing blank that is the size of the deck box. And then modeling how that fits into a small array, and then figuring out that I wanted to do these 2 block sections for holding 2 deck boxes. So each section holds 2 deck boxes. I didn't actually grab one of mine. I will be back in 1 second. I forgot to grab the full deck box. Not super bright, but whatever. Okay. So I'll just grab the one I just finished. And do I have... I'm trying to remember if I have one of my decks around that has 100 double sleeved in it. I'm gonna go grab that. I should have grabbed this stuff before I actually started the stream, but you know, sometimes right times just do that, and that's okay. I just gotta remember where the heck I left that crap. Damn it. Where the heck did I leave that backpack? My place is a disaster. I walked past it like 4 times. That's mildly hilarious. So I just grabbed my crap. Sit back down. Okay. So this is the most current generation of the deck box. This is an earlier failed print, so it's got the full lip. But the way I tried to print the top on here was with, let's see, so up here, probably should have worn a light shirt just so you can see it better. So you can see this. It's actually better. That one's easier to see. So you can see this round over. That's just to let the hard case slip in easier. So you have some guides on the side before you hit the guide for the top that holds it in. So I had that for this model, just sliced flat off the top. Well, as they cool, those little things curl, and yeah, it doesn't work. Like, there's a little curling on this, like you can see on the back here. There's a bit of curling up. I mean, it's on both sides, really. And I have like a hot iron, and I was playing around with this one. Like, you can probably see some of the texture up top, maybe. Like, it's smoothed a bit. Oh, on the side you can really tell the difference. So you can see how that's like smooth and shiny. And then the standard print on that side is definitely rough, and you can hear that versus that. The ridges are gone, but it warps the whole side, and I was just playing around with some tools that I got from messing with this, but yeah, so working on that. I'm gonna grab one of these decks. So here's an even earlier version. There are no slots on the side. There's no recess in the top. It's still got the back geometry on it for the magnetic stuff, but other than that, there's not stuff in it. Is this a double sleeved? I think it is. Yeah. Okay, so that's an option. So I've never really liked a lot of deck boxes. So for a long time, I just write what the deck is and commander or something to denote what the deck is on the outside. That one's not double sleeved. And they stack really nice, so it just makes things super easy. And the other thing is, so this is my Tengarth First Mate deck. Yeah. So that's that guy. And the one thing I really like about this is after a game, I can just write on these. I really don't care about the box, so I can just write on it. And these are the number of times that one of my opponents has been killed by attacking and me joining in with Tengarth to just wreck someone's day, because, you know, it's always fun doing just janky, silly stuff. I feel like I'm missing a deck or two. I feel like I'm missing two decks. Anyway, so this is my Gav Guru of Spores deck. It was one of my more expensive decks before I had most of my collection stolen. So now a lot of it is proxies. And my play group is fine with it. They understand that I had, like, it was around a $10,000 collection stolen. So, because these are proxies, they're even thicker than double sleeved. The way I do proxies, see if I can find one that's printed well. All right, this one will work. So these are all cards that I had before. I just print out a slip of paper, cut it out, and slide it in over usually a garbage card or a junk land or something like that. Sometimes I do it with spendier cards, but that's just fun to be trolly once in a while. And this one, like, it is barely fitting in here. And again, that's because it's double sleeved. It's got the extra card, well, paper. It's got the extra paper in there from all the proxies. So proxy heavy deck's probably not going to fit well in this. Yeah, it's just a little too thin. No, I got it. So I got it in. It's ridiculously tight. Like that's, yeah. There are some spendy cards in here. Yeah. I'm slowly kind of rebuilding this deck. I've been really into Kenrith lately. He's just hilarious. And this deck, it's dumb. Like Gav built well is just dumb. Like just dumb. But yeah, I mean there's good stuff in here that I've reacquired since my crap got stolen, but like I'm still down Earthcraft, Demonic Tutor, Smokestacks, Doubling Season. That was really annoying to lose. One of the things that I do have that I was missing before is a Debtor's Knell. If you have enough ramp or you have a way to cheat it into play and a way to kill opponents' creatures, it's absurd. Still missing the Bitter Blossom. Still, like, I lost so much good stuff. And I complain about it probably a little too much. Just a little bit. So I forgot. I moved the card that I was most pissed about losing into Kenrith. It's Nether Void. Like I was pretty upset about losing that card when I lost it. Oh, is that just cards? Weird. Okay. Not a card sorting video. So I'm just going to put Edgar Markov in the deck box. He's not double sleeved, he's just single sleeved. So I should be able to get more of the tokens for the deck in. And in those really big cardboard ones, so let's see if you can see this. Kind of hard to see, but the decks just slip in and then you can kind of roll them over. They fit nicely in here. There's a little space, like they move around a bit. The lighting's not great for showing you guys the inside of the box, but there is enough space for like tokens on the, like a few tokens on the side and maybe a couple on top. If you don't care much about damaging your sleeves a bit, you can actually get one of the like the life counters that scroll up and down on the bottom, and then they have like a poison counter up top. I want to say they're an Ultra Pro counter, like licensed, but up in the top here between the, it's really hard to see. between the like the sleeves and the side of the box, you can jam one in there if you really try. I wouldn't suggest it. I did just to try it out. But let's see. So I've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 10 tokens that I used to carry around with the deck. So I need the one with lifelink. I'll take a vampire and a zombie token. Take a vampire slash, or a vampire slash. So I've got the white one, I've got the zombie and the vampire, and then I've got the vampire and the bat. I should probably get one more vampire bat, or bat something. Yeah. I don't really use zombies in the deck, but bats get crapped out by one of the creatures in the deck. So cut that down to 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens. And they should, like, I can slide the deck out just a little bit. Sure, that's the top card. Just tug them down on the edge a little bit, and they should just slot right in there. And that just kind of snugs everything up, and you can see them just sitting up there on top of and everything just pops out. It's in there pretty tight, but that's okay. It'll be just fine. So then once everything's in, I'm just repacking the cards in there since I let them hang out the bottom. Drop Edgar in the top, and there we go. Clean. It's got a slot on the top for dice or whatever, and then, yeah. The new ones have geometry in the bottom. Yeah, they slide out. So I need to glue some material in the lip around the edge. Probably just old t-shirt material. Yeah, so they just sit on there. I can show you one. I don't use a lot of tokens in Kenrith. He's not built token-y. Token. He's not a token king. I don't know. But this is how one of my friends was helping me work on it used his. So he's got the main deck just set in here, and then commander in the command zone. And then, you know what, I might switch this out. So I think I'm going to do that. I've got the new body that has the geometry built into the bottom printing right now. I've been trying to figure out how to print these so I can print them all in one go, and the best option I've found, just use a white one as a demonstration, the best option I've found is actually printing them at an angle, like at about a 20-degree angle, and then forcing support material for a certain part of the bottom. I think that's going to be a good solution. I don't know for sure. I haven't been doing this long enough. Yeah, the slit is designed for one of the hard sleeves. So the hard, just, you can get them anywhere sleeves. So yeah, if this is the deck box, this slots in once all the, this one's really tight because it's got tokens in it. So yeah. Oh, you mean like up in here, like where you could, sorry, lighting's not perfect for shooting that. Yeah. So like up in here, you're saying to like, yeah, I could. I'm trying to keep this really simple. Like this deck box is not heavy. It's really strong. It keeps your, like, you can't really crush these. And And even with the commander in the front, the cards won't fall out. There are definitely some changes that I need to make to it, but it's solid. It's kind of hard to see. See if I can get the lighting right on this. So you can kind of see right here, there are 3 layers printed on the edge. So every edge has 3 layers. And then I did the infill in there, so it's like there's almost no infill, but it's just enough to hold the inside and the outside together. And that makes it so even if you drop it, there's enough move that the outside doesn't affect anything on the inside of the box. So, and then if like, I like the idea of being able to put an image in there. And I think if that, like, if I wanted something in there or someone wanted an image in there, because it would be pretty easy to, oops. It would be pretty easy to just like Mod Podge on an image. So once, like, when those are done, I'm gonna sand them down. I'm gonna spray paint them with like a spray filler, and then put something else on them. So it would be really easy to just take like Mod Podge, cut out an image, and just wipe it on, and then put a clear coat over it. Um, like a slot's kind of neat because then you can change it out, but the added geometry adds unnecessary complexity for what I'm going for. But it's an interesting idea, and maybe on a different design I would. So anyway, that's the box that goes in here. So these will get 3D printed. They won't have this bar on the top. That those just kind of guide me for now. So each box has, these guys have it. So they've got these magnet slots on the back, and they fit a 10mm magnet. So it'll be north, let's say, facing in towards the back of these, and north facing towards them, so they repel each other. And the 4 magnets give us strong enough repulsion that even with like the weight of a packed deck box, it'll still push it up a little bit. So then the only thing I need to worry about is holding it down to the container, which is what these side slots are for. They go into the locking mechanism, which is this block here. So the top does the left, the bottom does the right. So just kind of top, left, bottom, right, like most writing common things are. And then I started breaking everything, broke everything up. I think I finished it actually, into these pieces that need to get printed in the orientations they need to get printed in. So this one gets printed like that, and that's the top piece. The bottom piece gets printed like that. Actually, you know what? I just need to roll that on its side. That's a way, yeah, that's a way better way to print this for what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that right now. Edit component. Oops. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so now that's in the orientation that it should be in for printing. These guys are how they're going to be for printing, and so is this. So yeah, anyway, for assembly, you basically take this guy, drop the 2 pins in, or the 2 button pins into the slots, and then these guys slide into here, and then this guy, so this gets put on there, and then that whole assembly slides in, and that'll push this up. And then I can use springs and magnets, or a combination, some combination of springs and or magnets to drive things to their return position. Oops. So either by putting springs in between these two, or magnets like on the bottom, so the latch pieces repel each other. Some combination of that, just so the pieces return. And what's going on with this is a hole for an M3 bolt. So I have a little kit with a bunch of M3 bolts, so it's just to make things easy. And I need to get a long driver for it. But once I do, I also need to design this piece that's going to go in here. So basically, I'm going to design a square piece that plugs most of this hole, and it's got space in it for a M3 washer and M3 bolt, and then the plastic under, or the PLA or ABS underneath of it. So I can glue that in, and it's basically a captured bolt. Not a captured nut, but a captured bolt. So once that bolt is captured, this piece I can remove or leave it somewhere. And that bolt goes through a hole on here. So that's going to hold all of this stuff in place. And then once that's in place, so this is just a mock-up of a 4 cluster, and then that goes into an 18 cluster. Yeah. Well, I mean, what, it's actually 36 cluster. So then in the back of these guys, they're going to get an M3 bolt that gets put on flush. So just small hole for an M3 bolt. And this will probably be plywood. Like some kind of thin plywood or some other kind of thin wood for the outside. And then I started working on the design for the hinge. So in case you don't know what I'm working on, that's the image of the grimoire that I'm trying to build. So for it to lay relatively flat, I need an odd hinge, or odd way to hinge the spine of the book, because otherwise those fingers are just gonna get in the way. I'm probably going to do the lectern, but I may not. I don't know. It's kind of nice that it's Halloween. I probably should stop by a Halloween store and see if I can pick up like finger bones or whatever. It's probably better after, when people are just like giving the crap away that they don't want anymore. So yeah. Then yeah, this gets covered with probably just a fake leather material, and then that'll hold 36 deck boxes. So 36 of these guys. And again, this, like, the bottom is a little thinner on the newer version, like this bottom piece, because there's the matching geometry to this is now on the bottom, so you can stack them and they don't slide around. Shouldn't slide around. We'll see. I should actually check on the printer. How far is that done? Okay, not much left. I use TeamViewer, so it's so janky, but I can use. I have my 3D printer set up in a closet, so under the stair closet, weird space, not great for a lot. Happen to have a computer lying around, and yeah, so I just set it up in there. It's got a hardline internet cable to it, and if I need to log into it from another machine, I can just use TeamViewer, log in, and start a print, reset a print, see where a print is, and it means I can check it from my phone. It's super easy. Makes things just lazy. So I like it. I can hear it once in a while. The insulation in my place is not great, or the soundproofing, I should say, is not great. So once in a while I can hear some of the higher pitch stuff, but yeah, it's not that, like, it doesn't bother me that much. So anyway, working on the hinge. So last time I figured what I would need is, okay, so I've basically got my idea is I'm going to take a bolt and basically recess this, make a hinge that comes this way. So what'll happen is there's more of a space between the book. I can use this. So instead of it closing and opening at the hinge down here, it's going to have like this as a space. This is way exaggerated. And it's going to open and be able to lay flat even if this part is higher. So, but if I just did two hinges, it's still the same problem where this end, this end and this end can't lay flat if the middle's stuck up. So I've got to put basically another hinge in here. So even with, and this is obviously not accurate, but even with that hinge, these bottom pieces now sit up, make the center sit up off of whatever surface you're putting it down on. And that's one thing I love about these boxes, is even though I just bent the lid up, it's still just fine. Like, yeah, they're nice boxes for the price. I like them. So to do that, I want to keep as much geometry on the outside as possible. So what's up? Really? You gonna come stomping over here? Go get some food first? Gonna pull the camera off? Try? Okay. Yeah, so Cat was just taken off to, I don't know, go do whatever she does. She was going off to Cat. So like some earlier prototypes. I didn't want to print the whole box because at that point I was still printing them this way. And yeah, just different trials on how to print that out. Older prototypes for the top, just straight angle in instead of curved. Yeah, failed prints. I have a feeling when the cat comes back, she's going to want to sit down right there. And I don't want all my crap in the way. As long as she doesn't hit too many of the keys, I'm fine with it. Okay. 10 millimeters. How far back is 10? Okay. So I was right about how I designed that. And the way I like to... Oh, that's what that is. The way I like to go about designing this stuff is working on one piece. And I know it's a lot more efficient to copy and paste. To just move the design forward, but it doesn't let me look at or think about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So other people find it more helpful than I do, I guess, which is fine. Okay, so if I want that to go be recessed, kind of need to know the sizing on the M3 bolts. Okay. Well, I gotta go grab that now. Man, there's a ton of stuff I forgot for this stream. That's annoying. And the best part, the bolts were open. Okay. Calipers. And just see what I need here. So I'm going to grab I don't generally use the plier or the tweezers that they sent with this. They haven't been helpful for me. So let's grab one of the longest ones. Or the longest ones, I guess. And a nut. So just so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I've got this box of M3 bolts, nuts, and washers. So M3 is just a 3mm bolt, and they're really, really inexpensive to just get this box of them. They're all bagged, they're in like decently well sorted. I mean, they're tiny, but that's kind of the point with most 3D printing stuff, is attaching things in as unnoticeable a way as possible. But you can see the kit's got like all the different size bolts, nuts, washers, etc. And it comes with a hex key to tighten it down. But so I got out, I don't need multiple washers on this, even though if I were putting it on something, I would use two, one on each end. But for seeing the thickness on these, I really just need that, because I can flip it from that end down to that end and just use one end at a time, which is good enough. Gets what I want done. So what you do is take calipers, zero them out, and then fly. So I've got the bolt, kind of see it. I can see that better. So I'm just looking for how thick. Okay. These are just super cheapo Harbor Freight calipers. They work just fine. The battery holder is not great. So that is basically it's 3.4 millimeters, but 3.5 will make sure that the recess is completely hidden. And then on the other end with the washer and that bolt, you're looking at about 2.7. So we're looking at, this is the end. Actually, I can just do captive nuts as well. Like, I don't need to walk. That's kind of annoying. Because the washer is wider than so I think the smart thing to do is a captive nut and washer on that side. What's the diameter of the washer? And when I'm doing something like a washer, I like to move it a bit inside the calipers. Like I'm not going for exactly precise. So 7.6 or 6.7 millimeters. So bump that up to 7 millimeters. So battery case gone. So I just, like, if I want to use it, just push it down and it works just fine. I just need to, it means I need to be smarter about keeping a better grip on it, which is not always easy. So 7 millimeters, and this was 3. This need, like, it's less than 3, but yeah, 2.7. One of the things that I do really often with this, because I need to push the battery down to use it, is instead of, like, if I measure something like this, 2.7 millimeters, and it comes back and is off, or I look at it and I move my thumb, the power went off, whatever, it doesn't matter. I still have the measurement. I can just close it, and now it's negative whatever it was before. Try not to do that a lot, but it happens more than... It happens often. All right, so if I go in 3.5 millimeters, so going back to here, we want a guide. So I like extrusion. It's called something different in SketchUp. It's push-pull, but I learned it as extrude, and it makes sense to me to call it extrude. So 3.5 millimeters. What do I go back? 3.5. What's going on? Yeah, I know. I know. Excuse you. Yeah. Excuse you. Screamy, screamy, screamy. Now I gotta lean way back so you can be on camera too. Does that work for you? As long as you're getting attention? Yeah, well, you think my arm is attention, but it's just an armrest for me. Okay, so now that we have a marker for this, and yeah, I could have just done the one line and left it, but this way, if I go past it and then come back to it, it just goes to there, and then I can move that guy down. Those are unnecessary. So I can remove that because I don't need that marker anymore. Okay, so now I've got this piece, and how thick is the washer? Zero everybody out, open, 0.5 millimeter thick. And I measured this with the washer on it. The washer's diameter is 0.68 millimeters. Okay, so 0.68 is 0.34 radius. So 3.4. Okay, so 3.4 is a 6.8 radius. So that will give me the inset I need for the washer, which is 0.5 millimeter. So instead of pushing this back, I'm actually going to come up, move, 0.5 millimeter. And then, so we got that zigzag. So I'm going to remove this and this, because I don't want that line going back. And then all we do is drag the outer surface to that, and then remove this inner surface. Why is that? I have no idea why that came up with it, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, now that washer on here will sit slightly inside that depression, and the bolt will go on the outside. So that's the space that's needed for that. Then, because this is going to be a hinge and it's going to need to take a lot of force, like from opening and closing this whole thing, these guys might be able to do it. They might not. We'll see. The other option, actually, you know what? I'm going to go back to my more original idea, which is piano hinges. They're cheap, they function, they can carry a lot of weight for the size. So, yeah. I'm just going to leave. I can actually just undo till that guy goes away. I'm actually going to leave those on there because they'll just help me know where the hinges go and with the design. So we've got a piano hinge that goes here. Like, I want something overly complex for this, but sometimes simple is much better. Okay, so actually, all right. So if the piano hinge goes down the length of this spine, then I need another piece that comes out this way. I don't want it to snap to that. I just want it on the blue axis. This is 10 millimeters thick. So I need, let's go with 15. Let's go with 20. Milliliters. Okay, so I go from there down to there. Right axis. To the end. Okay. So okay, so that hinge piece, I want this to be able to fold all the way past that. So the piano hinge is going to have to be slightly proud of this. Up this way. I got it. These are annoying now. Take the rest off later. Okay. So, you know what? Just look these up really quick. Don't want slip-ons. Tight clearance. Come back. Come on. Okay, whatever, you do you. Okay, so we've got about 3 feet of it. Okay. Okay, there we can get 1 foot to sections. I don't know what exactly what I'll need. I'll need to calculate it. But that is knuckle length. Range of motion, 270 works. Did you need something? Just gonna like start using my keyboard and alt tabbing and stuff again. Here, let me change that one. I think that one I turned everything off on. She's gonna start wiping her mouth on my keyboard any minute. Okay. Curious if they have one in metric. I just don't feel like calculating half an inch in metric. No, you don't get to sit down on my dick move. Come on, you can't sit there. There you go. Yep, that's better. See, I'm not harassing you. Don't have your fat butt on me. Let's see what Amazon's got. Millimeters in there. See if we can get prime. Yes. Oh, nice. Oh, oops. Okay, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, I think piano hinges are the best bet. And yeah. So back to SketchUp. So if the piano hinges is in there, and I think I can do it with this. So if I go to there, yeah, 270 piano hinges will work. I'm pretty good with geometry stuff and angles or whatever, but I like being able to visualize it and make sure that I am correct in what I'm thinking. So basically the way I'm going to set this piano hinge up is one piece, yeah, so one piece goes on here, the other one continues over there. No, I can actually do it on the inside here. So I can bevel out a chunk of this. So if I go down, what, 5 millimeters? Let's just do 10. Okay, So if I were to put the piano hinge up there, going this way, bevel, like take out a section that fits it, and then take out a section on there for the hinge. So they basically zero up against each other. Then you get almost no interference with the surface. And then when the hinge rotates around, you've got the first 10 millimeters of this with first 10 millimeters of that. And then that whole thing is going to stick up 10 millimeters before it attaches back in the book. So right now we have the whole thing just straight off of this. So once it gets to rotating 90 degrees, so it's facing like this, and then the side opens like that, you're going to get that flat. But what we want is to take it all the way around. So this piece rotates 170 degrees, and then that hangs off of it. So the hinge for this needs to be on this corner. So as that opens, it can link like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a radius on this of 2 millimeter, 2 millimeter diameter on that, and the same down here. Just so it's easier for me to think of how this is hinging. Okay, so that opens, and then that helps this lay flat. And this doesn't even need to be trying to think how that's going to work. Like, I think it would actually be better if for the hinge, so I take the midpoint and draw millimeter. But I don't really want it at the midpoint. I want it at the midpoint of this and that is 2.5. Okay, so if I take that midpoint and draw a 1 millimeter radius on that, so that bumps it up closer to the edge of this, so it's not like piano hinges work best when they're on an edge, not in the center. So if I were to make that the center, so now I've got this wedge. So this needs to go And that still lets this whole thing open all the way to there. Like, I'm trying not to go up the side of the box, even though I know it would probably solve a bunch of my problems. I hate to overstate things, but yeah. I mean, I could come back on this and put this hinge there. So what happens if I do that? So if this piano hinge is, again, 1 millimeter, and then if we, that should be like a 45 out to there. So if we remove this, and then, fuck that up, but I don't care right now. Just looking at this face. So if this were that new geometry, this can actually thin down. So now what we can do is we can actually bisect that. So by doing this, oops, I'm just going to do this first, clean this up. Okay, so I need to bisect this and then that. So this makes the whole thing actually quite a bit smaller. So this piece is one piece. Like this is one piece. And then there is another hinge out here with a 1 millimeter radius. So that pulls it down, and then we get that sitting about 20 millimeters off the ground, which should be enough to hide all of the stuff that goes, or get this off, all the stuff that goes in the back. And we're only adding 20 millimeters of thickness on this, slightly over. Like if you count the outside to the outside, running what, 21 millimeters, right? 22 millimeters. So, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I need to draw this. I love using the other sides to draw against. Should be 10 millimeters. Yep. First one is that. Okay. Yeah. So now these wedges will get piano hinges on the end that go inside. So the piano hinges sit in here. So then this box I can either have another like connection piece that just does, I don't know, green axis, where's the midpoint, like that. So basically I can either make this a little thicker on the back and then cut out that bevel, or I can make this like, I don't know, what, 5 millimeter? Five millimeter, and then like just do that. So basically then I can bolt this on. I mean, that's not a bad solution. If I really wanted to make sure everything would like open up and lay like super flat, there's also the option of measuring parts of this out and like putting another hinge either there or up here. I mean, that's just going to make the thing huge, but possible. I don't know. We'll see what the next thing I turn into, like next Magic the Gathering art thing I try and do as a project. See how well this one turns out first. Yeah, so basically we've got the hinges on there. I'm gonna go ahead and put the what I'm using to designate them on each end. 1 millimeter radius. Hate when I accidentally grab behind it and pull everything. Thank you for beeping. She's shedding a lot and she hates being brushed. Like, absolutely hates it. So, every once in a while when she sheds a lot, my nose itches. Okay. So the ones on top. Nope. Oh, I forgot to put that in. Do that first. And on the other side. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to go through and clear that stuff out after. Clear this stuff out. Clear that. So right now I'm planning on just connecting this stuff with piano hinges. If necessary, I can put another hinge here and just give that another place to bend. I don't think it will be. So if we look at the artwork for it, I think with that extra space, it'll be fine. Yeah, I think that triangle that's there. Yes, can I hold? Do you want me to hold your hand? Holy crap! She's actually letting me hold her ball. What a nice cat! Instantly grumpy. Huh. Instantly grumpy. Hey, clip your toenails. Okay, so I'm not sure what's better, honestly. Making that piece so it attaches. I think putting that geometry on the edge of this box is the smarter play, just because it's going to have the piano hinge attached directly to it, and yeah, I think that'll be a lot better. I can always use something like construction adhesive or whatever to put that on there if I can't. Like if the material on the box isn't stiff enough, thick enough, whatever, to not mess up stuff on the inside, I can always just construction adhesive the piano hinge on there. Yeah. But I can also try not to need to do that. All right, so I need to see if I've got a... I think I did. Also not what I wanted. Oh, I got multiple sizing bikes. Okay, so I've not made one of those into a component. Good to know. All right, so we are going to make what, this one component. No, you know what? Fine, make component. This is the book body. You know what? I should. Okay. So. Okay, so we got the Grimoire body and the Grimoire spine. So what I need to do is delete this stuff and put Grimoire bodies back in their place. So this one, I need to rotate 180. Okay. So we've got that one rotated. So if I draw line, edit component, just come off like that. Nice. Building in symmetry is amazing. I should say building things symmetrically is amazing. So for this one, should be able not what I want. But that's okay. Because I can always rotate. Go 180 that way. Oh yeah, I want it on that face. Fine. Just do it from just trying to line some stuff up so it's not as bothersome to me. Okay, so those are lined up now. So again, I do a lot of just free modeling, copy pasting stuff to figure out what I'm doing. So like these are completely unnecessary, but they help me solve problems in my head, which is all I really care about for now. I'm trying to remember the sizes I need the material in this box. 6.35 millimeters. 6.35 millimeters. I don't remember if there's a reason for that. Whatever. Doesn't matter all that much. Edit component. Missed you, didn't I? I do like when you edit a component, it edits all of those components. So makes things a bit easier designing in components. I usually don't start off that way. It's usually where I would end up. It also makes it nice because I can just delete everything in this model. Like I can just select everything, delete it, and then open the components tab and put everything in. So it basically all works out in the end the way I want it. And then I can see a component multiple places, how it interacts, how I plan on using it. So what I'm going to do is I actually need to redesign those components because I want to be able to separate these out. Well, stuff's going to be made out of wood. I don't really need to separate them out, I just need that. So that's actually what I need. Except for not exactly right there. So let's get the rotate selected. Always got to be careful about what's behind what you're selecting. Like if I had it like that and select it, it's going to select all that stuff behind it, which is another reason components are amazing, because you can just remove a lot of stuff. So I don't really need to attach it anywhere, I just need to rotate 180. I'm going to copy that so I can put it back elsewhere later. And then I need to deselect 10 millimeters. So if I come off 10 millimeters, get down to that edge. Nope. Way too long. Let's turn to red, snap to there, go back. So I need to look at this again, not that. So I don't... Yeah, I wasn't editing the component when I did that, but that's okay. I can just remove this. Kind of thinking I should just move this component up there, but I won't for now. Okay, so edit component, will come out. Red axis, snap to there, go there. Yeah, that's not quite right? Okay. I need to move that down because this is just not at all being helpful as a guide. Because I'm having a hard time seeing what I'm doing. Okay, now I can see better how this is going to fit together. So what I really need is to come up actually. Keep forgetting to edit the component because I keep clicking off of it to move stuff around. So, nice. All right, so I need to come up 10 millimeters. And go in. And then that gets bisected like that. All that goes away. So that puts that matching face on there. And for now, like there's no point in this big back piece being completely solid. Like this. What is going on with this? Oh, it's being friggin' weird. Okay, so you can see all the other ones got those faces on them. I kind of don't like that. Comes up 10 millimeters, right? Because it's just a right triangle. Yeah. Okay, so if we go up 10 millimeters, and 10 millimeters is that much space. So it's not a lot. I mean, I could print like token holders that go on the back. Yeah, so sleepy. Like I could make little token holder pieces that go in the back. But for now, I'm just going to make it save everything really quick. Get myself a drink. So basically, with the hinges in the bottom down here, I need a stop towards the top. Not intentionally rhyming, but whatever. So if I put this stop in up here and we're to make it, actually, I'll just box that in. And then that should make that a reasonably sized on their side token storage at the back of the box. Or trade or whatever you want. Just back of the box is extra storage is what I just turned that into. And I mean, I could adjust that so it fits in there. So this is bigger or whatever, and they fit together better. Like, just make it whatever. And I may. Like, a lot of this is just me trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. I'm curious if I accidentally fucked that up. is going on with this? Why do you not want to give me that geometry there? We're still editing that component. Weird. Don't really care right now, but weird. Okay. And they're all symmetrical pieces, so yeah. One design makes many. So I need to remove this. Not that. Just this. Clean this model up a bit. I don't have a lot of time left to stream on this. Got some stuff that I gotta go take care of. Hopefully I'll have everything set up on Thursday to do some Aerocrete streaming. I've got most of it set up in the backyard. I just need to go out and like buy the foaming agent and test it and all that other stuff. Once I do that, mix in the cement. Once it's all working, then I can start making Aerocrete, and that'll be absolutely amazing. I really don't think that space is going to be enough on the bottom. That's 6 millimeters. Okay. Check on the 3D print really quick. Ah, looks like it's done. So I'm going to go grab this print off the printer, and I will be back in a couple moments. I'm going to throw the Grimoire of the Dead image up. You guys can watch my cat sleep. Found the bolt that was on the keyboard, or now she's awake. You can watch her get pissed off that I left. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. Oh, like that print. So, hot off the printer. Didn't work out so well. Like, it's got a bit of geometry down there, but it's not. If it gets smoothed out, it's just enough to let them stack and not slide around much. I mean, it's a good guide. Like, it's just not, like, the print detail isn't quite there. And then this also has these edges that I need to melt down. I think once I do that, it'll be fine. And then I can just stick. I already printed these guys off. So these are the lid pieces. So guy goes on like that. And then hopefully we'll be able to stack and do these a little nicer. I've got a print setup going where this is getting printed at like a slight angle. Like, it's not even that much. It's probably like that. So it's going to get a base down here that goes up a bit to support it. And there should be no more support structure on this inner brim. Don't need one for the top. There are a couple that it put in for the back pieces just because they loop over. I don't think it needs them, but I'm going to leave them on and see how it comes out. But I also have, I think, I have one more lid beyond this, so I'm going to need to print at least one more of these guys out. And these ones are really nice because they just sit on the printer like this. The loops go, like, it's printed in this direction. So these front retention pieces that hold the commander card in, they're really strong. Like, you're not going to pull the, like, that one's really bent. Here's a hard card. Okay, so hard card case goes in the front. Like, just like all the other ones I've been working on, I can, like watching this, you want to wipe your mouth on there? It's a nice sharp corner for you. You know? So even if I pop this out, and this takes quite a bit of force, they just pop right back in. Sometimes they need a little help, but whatever. And that's with the hard piece towards that end. If you flip it around, it doesn't give as much bend. Like, it's significantly harder to pop it out, but once it pops out, it stays out. And that's because these sides are spreading. With the lid on it, you can't really get underneath of it as well. But I can pull Kenrith out and show you on this one. So again, this is the hard seam up at the top. And like just slipping my nail under there. Like, it comes out, but it takes a lot of force to get it out. And it doesn't bend these pieces very much. And with a card in there, it's just a little stiffer. But they, like, I like the way the deck boxes work. I like the way these deck boxes look. Like, even the ones with just the flat top on them. Even this one like this older design with the thinner edges. Um, I like it. They're they're simple deck boxes that perform a function. They don't take up a lot of extra space beyond what they need to. Um, they don't have like sliding covers like I've seen on a lot of them. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you want on a deck box, get it. My goal is simply how efficiently can I build a deck box. And this is about as efficient as you can get because you're using, again, the commander, one of the cards in a hard sleeve, which a lot of people do anyway as the lid for it. And I mean, even if they're like this way, there's still a lot you can do with that, especially when you add the side geometry. So this side geometry here, that just makes latching them together once they're printed like this even easier. So yeah, they're they're neat deck boxes. I like them. I'm really hoping printing like on the side like this, because it's still going to give all of these loops a lot of, or sorry, I'm looking at my side. All of these, like when it's printing this way. So this lip on the front that holds the hard case down is still going to be connected all the way around. I mean, these parts up here are only going to be a little bit for this, but that's okay. It's enough um, to make sure they don't have the issues of the early ones that I printed in this direction and had a lot thinner walls up top. Those ones, these can crack. Like this front piece cracks off if you try and put the card in at too steep of an angle. They'll just break right off. This print piece didn't quite work out as I expected, but that's okay. Um, I just need to work on setting things up. I need to see how this turns out after it's sprayed with fill paint. Basically, car body fill spray paint is one of the ones I got because it was available. Um, yeah, so smoothing this down, filling it, priming it, sanding it. I can layer up because I've got this guide. I can layer that up a little bit. This is only 3 layers. Yeah, this is only 3 layers of PLA. This raised section. Um, so yeah, it'll be nice once I put the top on this to really start playing around with it. I don't know if you can see the gaps up here, but they are fairly significant. I'm gonna grab this hard case that fell so I can show this off a little better. So I'm putting the hard case in as a guide so this top piece lines up better, but you can still see, there we go, like that does not line up well in there. So kind of sucks, but again, a little paint, some finish. And again, they're prototypes, so I'm not super worried about final design. right now? What are you into? You're just really into that blanket, aren't you? So tired from your nap. So, alrighty, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Got a bunch of stuff to take care of around the house for today. Hopefully Thursday's stream will be fun. Working on some Aerocrete stuff. Uh, maybe making a giant... Okay, probably making a giant mess. But, yeah, that's all good. Alright, thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate the questions you guys were asking in chat. Yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them. Always love talking about projects, what people are working on, all that kind of stuff. Check out our website. Yeah. Look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your day.